Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into the TA. All right, guys, exciting stuff we got to talk about today. We are seeing a turn in the market. I'm going to speak on that in a little bit. All right, we're going to go over the indices here. Then we're going to go over the chips. Then we're going to go over some of these big boys. And then we got Henry's trade ideas. All right. Okay. Starting off here with SPY, I am going to point out, guys, we got that lower wick going on. We have a red bar, almost a bearish engulfing candlestick with that heavy volume. All right. I don't know if you're going to turn down right away. I think you're probably going to see buyers, start stepping in a little bit here. But I am going to point out some concerning things. All right. We're also going to go over where we are going to be paying attention moving forward. All right. But that's what I want to start off with. Now I'm going to kick it right back down to the hourly time frame. All right. I'm going to point out you do have that hourly bearish divergence going on here. But before we go any further, 15-minute bearish divergence, guys. We said we were looking for it. We said we were looking for 550. What happened? You got the bearish divergence right off of 550. Your high of day was 550.12. All right. I don't know if you could see it right up there on this candlestick. 550.12. From that point, you held your bearish divergence and then you started selling. Now I'm going to take it back up to the hourly time frame. And I'm going to point out, guys, you just started breaking below this uptrend. All right. So what does this tell us? Well, we could be seeing this thing start to pull back here. We could start getting that sell. 15-minute bearish divergence, what we were looking for that sell to start. That's why over here, we didn't have one. I was pointing out, I was looking for, a pullback followed by the higher high. But with that higher high, we were looking for a 15-minute bearish divergence, right? I didn't know exactly how it was going to shape up. It was picture perfect over here, and now we have started to sell. Now, where are we going to be paying attention to on this downturn? First things first, 544.12. That is the first level of interest on the downside. I will definitely point out, broke below that downtrend. That's the first level of support that we're going to be paying attention to. The next level of support we're going to pay attention to is going to be all the way down under here at 539.64. Underneath 539.64, we're watching for 533.07 to be tested. Now, I'm not saying that is going to be the case. We're going to have to see how this weekly candlestick here shapes up, and maybe we get a deeper pullback into next week. All right? Maybe we are starting that pullback. I'm going to point some things out on the chips that are not looking too good. Okay? They're just not. And that is how it is. All right? But those are the levels we're watching over here on SPY. I think we probably get a day of consolidation tomorrow. I don't think it's an immediate sell. Maybe we get a gap up, but as you see, all right, these candles with the lower wicks there, they don't typically just result in straight up downside following them. All right? So, I don't know how tomorrow's going to shape up, but I will definitely start the video off by saying, guys, on the chips, we got some nasty price action going on that does suggest they are going to be leading the market lower. All right. So I'm just going to let everyone know. I'm going to be transparent with that one up front. All right. There will be timestamps down below if you want to skip throughout the video. They will be here in this description down below. There you go. All right, over here on QQQ, you got the bearish engulfing candlestick off of the heavy volume. I'm going to point out, guys, all right, you're pretty far away from that 9. Well, you were over here. Now you're coming down into it, so not too far away over there. I think that is at least going to be tested, all right? I think we're getting one of these pullbacks right over here. And just the levels that stand out to me, 478.39 on the downside, and then underneath there, we really come all the way into this. I'm going to mark it with a zone here. We're going to go from there all the way over there. We're going to bring it right there. All right. 465.74 up to 468.14. That's what I'm really going to be looking for on the downside. All right. I put it out a few trading sessions ago. All right. I think it was actually, this day right here. You got above 77 right here. All right. 77. I said we were looking for that pullback. After that pullback, I thought we were going to head up to new highs. I still think that is going to be the case. I understand you had this take place, all right? You went a whole $8 above there, okay? But now you're getting the pullback, guys. This is a spot, if we put a horizontal line there, that you've only hit a selected number of times here. You don't hit that, all right? But typically, we get these pullbacks when you get, when you hit that. It could be pretty nasty. After that pullback's done, you go up to new highs. All right, so that is what I'm going to be looking for over here. Oh, pullback, new high. All right, let's see. We got another few spots over here. All right, over here you just literally consolidated and then you kept going. All right, that's back in 2017. Over here, all right, you went a little higher. You got your pullback there, and then you went higher. Okay, so I do think we go higher from here, but we're going to probably go lower first. So that's what I want to make very clear here. All right, we are now getting that pullback that we talked about. You do not get the 15-minute bearish divergence over here on QQ, but what I will point out is you have this 15-minute RSI already in oversold territory. Now, if you come down here to this 478.39 level and you see a bullish divergence here on this 15-minute RSI, that is the point when I'm going to be looking for a bounce back. Maybe it goes from 478.39 all the way back up to test 483.43, which is this low right here where you broke down from pretty aggressively. All right, so maybe it goes something like that. And maybe in the end, we do get a larger pullback. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but let's move on to the next one. All right, so underneath 478.39, what are the levels you really could be paying attention to? We're going to point those out on the, we're going to use the daily time frame for that. All right, you don't really have anything. All right, but if I had to put something on there, it's going to be right there. All right, actually, it's going to be right there. Okay, so underneath 478.39, you're watching for 476.50. We're going to mark that up with the zone real quick. All right, we're going to go like that. Boom, boom, boom. All right, bring that in, make it nice and clean for us. All right, so between 476.50 and 478.39 is your next real demand zone. Go down there. And the 9 EMA on the daily time frame, that is going to be where that aligns with price. Okay, so we probably do get buyers stepping in here. It could just be for a dead cat bounce. It could be a fall in recovery. I'm not going to say I know. I'm going to point out some things over on the chips, though, that I think we're probably getting a larger sell over here. All right, I told you guys, it's time to be cautious. It was time to be cautious on the long side. I still think we're going higher, but I thought that pullback was going to be around the corner. We went a little higher before that pullback, but I think we're actually going to get that deeper pullback here. All right, now underneath this 465.74 level over there, that is when we can come all the way back down to 460.58, and that is the level that really stands out to me over here on the weekly time frame. All right, so that's what I'm going to be watching over here, just so you have the pretty picture here. Guys, if we do not have a green tomorrow, if Friday is a flat/red day, you close out with this, we're getting some downside. I told you this candlestick right here, this weekly candlestick over here on SPY and QQQ, they don't lead to immediate downside, but what would? All right, if we were to get this large upper wick, we get that shooting star candlestick, yeah, that shows sellers took control by the end of the week. They probably want to drive prices down. I told you, this does not lead to, I'm pointing at it with my finger. That's funny. All right. I know I got the cursor, but I was also using my left hand right there. All right. This candle does not lead to immediate downside. We are going to see the sign before we get that downside. This, if this closes out like this tomorrow, that's your sign. All right. So there's that. Proof is in the pudding. Candlesticks, they rule the charts. All right. That's why we talk about them so often here on the channel. Moving on to the next one. IWM. All right. IWM, guys. Now let's kick it off with the weekly time frame over here. You have this large pennant. You break down from that, things get ugly. You also do have the golden pocket down here, so that's where we look for buyers. And I'm going to continuously watch this over here. I'm going to be transparent on that. This is what I'm going to watch over here on IWM. If you really do start breaking down from here, okay, you're just waiting for this thing to get oversold. You buy, all right? You don't have to do anything like that. No financial advice will be given here on this channel. What I will say is they have all been good buying opportunities, at least for these short-term bounces. All right. And then, oh, you get another one. Oh, it's a bullish divergence. Oh, you buy again. All right. And then you get to run it back. Oh, you come down here and you got the bullish divergence going on right here. Oh, you buy again. It touches right on the 0.618 fib. All right. So we probably are going to come down here and you probably do get one of those big old dead cat bounces if you are going to continuously break down underneath this pennant here. Okay. So expect to bounce, but you know, from lower prices, not from right here. That's what I'll point out. Daily look, not good. That is why I scaled out of IWM. And honestly, I'm just going to say, guys, all right, I think we're going to get that next opportunity I was just speaking about on this move down. And we're going to get to play IWM again. We have a ton of opportunities loading on these charts that we're going to talk about. DIA, all right, you're pushing up to the 0.618 fib here. Guess where sellers stepped in? Right at the 0.618 fib. All right, you still have this head and shoulders look to you. I'm looking for sellers in between 393 and 396.50. I know it took some time. I know you wanted to troll us. You wanted to come down. Guess what? Golden pocket was still respected. You had this move, retrace from there to there. Buyers right at the golden pocket. All right. What happened next? Now you actually push up to this golden pocket. You expect sellers in here, but I'm just going to say this candlestick doesn't necessarily suggest that immediate downside. Here on this channel, we will put together the puzzle pieces. All right. We have SPY and QQQ. QQ especially not looking good right now. All right. But then you come over here, DIA. What if, you get some upside over here? Well, guess what? Maybe we get a SPY that goes flat tomorrow. And that's why I was saying we're going to come back over here to SPY. All right. That's why I was saying these don't necessarily lead to immediate downside. They don't have to. All right. Like if we get a fat gap down tomorrow, guys, out the window. All right. This thing could start free falling. Okay. But if you don't, and you open up where you are right now, there's a solid shot. The DIA is just going to push a little further into this golden pocket, all right? Because this is heavy volume on a wide-bodied green bar. That's not necessarily the most bearish thing ever. You had the same exact thing over here off a low volume. Now you have the high volume. You're probably going a little higher over here, all right? So if I had to take a guess, we're going to get a flat Friday, all right? We're going to have to see what happens, though. We are, all right? Moving on to Mr. VIX. This thing, I told you a few days back, it looked to me like this thing was getting ready to rumble, all right? Inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. This, I'll just be transparent. This is what I was watching before. This is what I pointed out here on the channel right here. Well, you broke below that low, and I was like, you know what? No, this thing now looks like it's probably like, what the heck? You're messing with me, all right? VIX has not been acting, how I normally see it behave. And guess what? Now it's right back up. And, if your boy Henry didn't just, he didn't consider this right shoulder over here. Now we got this right shoulder. All right. So what are we going to do? We're going to just take that. We're going to move it a little more. Well, you got a breakout today. All right. So VIX does look like it is moving higher. I'm pointing out it's getting ready for a VIX explosion. And I think potentially, all right, we finally are going to get a pop on the VIX. 1488. Very, very likely incoming in my personal opinion. All right, now your resistance over here, Mr. VIX, we're going to make it that high right there. We're going to take that off just to declutter our chart right there. Okay? That's the level you're watching on Mr. VIX. I'm sorry, I'm chewing gum. Let me spit that out. I didn't even realize. All right? 1347. I hope you guys didn't hear me chewing gum. That's okay. All right, now it's gone. 1347, straight up to 1488. You got nothing in between here, all right? You got some sellers, but guess what, all right? There's really no structure in between. Yes, you can do TA on the VIX. That is why you have this, and then you started getting your VIX explosion over here, all right? I think it's getting ready for a move, and if, we actually just take this. All right, you went a little below it, all right? I was going to say, it looks like you held the golden pocket. All right, moving on from Mr. VIX, though. We got the picture over here on the indices, all right? Flash, flat tomorrow, flash, maybe a little pullback, okay? But if it is closing out red or flat tomorrow on the Qs, guys, we look for that downside. Why? Because we're going to have a weekly shooting star candlestick with a large upper wick. All right, this rally right here was off of a low volume. Let me just point it out with an arrow. You went that way, and price went that way. All right? Big discrepancy there. That doesn't typically happen. But, I've been pointing out that it could lead to nothing, but it's definitely a sign right there. And you know what? You can even put on a trend line right there. Just like that. And I bet it's more clear on the daily time frame. I know we got a lot of levels to be paying attention to over here. All right? But you got that. You got that. Yeah. Okay? You could potentially be pulling back all the way over here. 465.74 to 468.14. If we do it by, end of June, that is going to line with this uptrend. We probably get buyers stepping in there, at least for that dead cat bounce. Maybe go something like that. Maybe it goes up for the lower high. You sell off in the golden pocket. Let me just, complete our picture here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Golden pocket. You're going to have this zone right here. This will be your supply zone. Maybe you get a wick through here. Okay. You get a hammer candlestick here. Shooting star, spinning top here. All right. And then you continue sell. I have absolutely no idea how that's going to shape up because guess what? None of us have crystal balls. What we can do is we could take these puzzle pieces we collect from the charts and we could put them together. All right. So that is that. Moving on to the chips. All right. These are things that are not looking good. Okay. Weekly time frame. You got your shooting star. It's not looking the best. Just like QQQ, I want to point out some of these things look real freaking ugly. All right. Bearish engulfing candle, very heavy volume. Daily RSI coming back under 70. That is not a good look. All right. We're getting some more downside. Watch for the downside. 250.85 to 255.92. That is exactly what I'm going to be paying attention to. If you sell straight through 268.14, all right, you found your buyers here right there. That's your break and retest. You should expect buyers when you see these structural tests. You expect the buyers, okay? I think I pointed out over on the weekly chart right here. 250.85, that's the level that stands out to me. I think buyers are probably going to defend down here, okay? So that is what, the next key spot that I'm paying attention to, all right? So underneath 268.14, you watch for 264.55 to be tested. Underneath 264.55, you watch for 255.92 down to 250.85. That's going to be your breakout zone. You had this little range going on here. You can see what I see, all right? I'm actually just going to take that. We're going to put it right there, and then we're going to go like that to make it all clean. We're going to go like that. There we go. All right, so that's where you pay attention over here on SMH. Now that we know how the big boy is looking, the SMH that's running the show over here on the chips, let's talk about some things, all right? SMCI. Yes, guys, I told you literally the other day, I thought you had another $100 day loading up. What do you have today? You had your next $100 day, guys. We've called a few of these bad boys so far. Yes, we have, all right? You had another one. You got one over here, okay? Guess what? You just had another one, but now it's not a good look. Now, what were we looking for exactly, guys? Oh, yeah, 1020 up to, so we were looking for 1,000 up to 1,100. Where did sellers start stepping in? 1,000, 1,014. I know, we missed our resistance by 6 points. That's okay, guys. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not playing it. I will play it on the pullback when I see another setup, which, if I was just going to point out the next setup, it's going to be all the way down here. You're going to come over here. You're going to put that guy on there. And guess what? That's a golden pocket test as well as your retesting where you broke out from. That's what I'm watching over here on SMCI. That's the next setup that I see that Henry Boy might potentially play, because Henry Boy let himself get faked out when he bought in over here. And now he sees these contracts run to like 4,000 beans. And I'm like, gosh darn it. That's okay. All right. Moving on, though. That's SMCI with the fake breakout. All right. I still think a big break is coming. It was not today. You had a big move today, but as you could see, you closed out with a very ugly candlestick. So we're moving on to the big boy NVIDIA himself. We told you to watch this channel. It's now testing the lower bound of the channel. It looks like it's definitely going to be breaking down. You got a bearish engulfing candlestick. Get this thing out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Bearish engulfing candlestick. Heavy volume. Daily RSI is coming back down. Wants to go under 70. That is a bearish sign. All right. And guess what? This thing looks like it's going to start breaking down. You watch for buyers to defend 125.59. But I do think 125.59 is going to be tested. All right. You're leading the way today, this morning. And by the end of the day, you were the biggest, F you to the market pretty much. NVIDIA dragged the market down. That is why we saw what we saw today. Obviously, we saw a lot of other chips complete give these back. We got one of the big boys, all right? One of the FANG stocks looking absolutely sexy right now. We're also going to point that one out, guys. I told you we got some juicy things to talk about, all right? Underneath 125.59, that's your breakout level right there. We can actually put a zone up, all right there. You watch for buyers to defend that. If they can't defend 125.59, next level is really going to be all the way down here at 115.82. And yeah, just because I like doing that, we got another zone to be paying attention to. It gives you the full picture, okay? So underneath 125.59, you look for 115.82. I don't know if you're getting lower than that, all right? The next level is going to be 106.48. We got time to talk about it because there's not a freaking chance this thing is just going to, get back 20% so quick. We're going to definitely be talking about this bad boy in the weekly update, so stay tuned for that. And guys, if you are new to the channel, we put out a daily update Monday through Friday. All right, so 5 days a week. And we talk about, everything we got to talk about, our plan, how things are looking, what levels we're paying attention to on the big boys going into the next week on the weekly update, as well as a crap ton of setups that Henry Boy over here is watching for the next week. All right. If you do just want to get access to the focus list, we have been doing pretty solid over there in the Discord. If you would like to join our little group of, kick butt traders over there, we have a great group going. I'm just going to say that, guys. You know who you are. We have a great thing going over there. But yeah, if you would like to trade with us and you would like to kill it, if you're not killing in this market, all right, have at it. Link is going to be down below. And while I got your attention, Twitter, guys, go follow over at the Twitter. I don't think anybody who enjoys these videos, I think you're going to have a great time over on the Twitter. I let you know about things as I see them. Okay? Of course, all of this is going to be, first in the Discord, and there's a crap ton more over there. But yeah, some of these setups I'm definitely going to be calling out over here on the Twitter. So yeah, all right. These are things that you could be taking advantage of. And I know in the video, we have a crap ton of information. So if you want to just get individual tickers over here and individual setups, not all in, one big video, that is going to be over on the Twitter. Link is also going to be down below. I'll catch you over there. All right, but that's in the video for you. Let's move over here to TSM. Guys, shooting star candlestick yesterday. Do you see this arrow? Guess what? That's still what I think is going to happen. I didn't draw that today. All right. I think you're probably going to have this pullback, and I'm watching 160.78. That is the weekly level that stands out to me, just like I pointed out on SMH over there. All right. We're going to mark it out with a zone right there. Okay. That's going to line with your 0.618 fib from, this most recent run you've had. And that is where I think buyers are going to defend next. You close out like this on the weekly, you expect more downside. All right. You expect more downside. Don't you dare look for upside. You could do whatever you want. But yeah, if you want to look for more upside off of this, what the heck are you thinking? All right. What are you thinking? You're probably going to get some more downside. All right. There you go. That's where you're paying attention over on TSM. Underneath 176.06, where we are underneath right now, you watch 169.84. Underneath 169.84, you watch for the big level that I just pointed out down here at 160.78. That is going to be a buying opportunity down there. But as of right now, you got increasing volume on the sell. It's not looking pretty for the bulls in the short term. That's that. All right. Moving over there. The troll himself. All right, guys. We pointed this one out. You see where the trade entry was over there? Boom, bop, bing, boop, pow. All right. Actually, I'm really satisfied with the focus list this week. We have killed the focus list. All right. In a great way. Look at that heavy volume. Heavy freaking volume on this breakout. All right. So I will say, all right, you did get the breakout. I do like how you're looking. Okay, I do. But I'm also going to say AMD is known to be a troll, and that is why when I saw my gains, I'm taking them. Okay, and hey, if you're playing this name and you think this thing is going further up, that's good for you. All right. But again, this thing is known to be a troll. If you're not new to the channel, then you know this thing is known to be a troll. Okay. We got exactly what we wanted. If you got to ride this big boy move up, you freaking take them profits. You take them profits, and then you get to hit this button because you have peace of mind.
That was easy.
There you go. I hit it for you. All right. But guys, you do technically have your breakout here. You do have this falling wedge pattern going on right there. All right. So it's something I will point out. The ideal entry point was right here off the 0.618 fib. All right. Swept the low over there. Okay, they had me in the first half. Oh, boom, bop, bing, boop, pow is the biggest runner today. So there was that. All right. But I will tell you right here, eventually this thing's probably going to test 172.49. I don't know if it's going to be right now, but this thing was showing up when the other ones were not showing up. So are we about to see rotation into AMD? All right. If NVIDIA wants to put on 100 billion market cap in a day, freaking give AMD a 50% day. Do it. Do it. Nah, just give it a 10% day. We'll be happy. All right, we'll be happy. ARM, I told you guys that I was personally, going to wait on this pullback over here into this demand zone. 135.41 to 145 is where you broke out from. That is where I suspect buyers are probably going to hold the line. You just want to see the clear picture right there. Boom, bop, bing, boo, pow. You come back, you pull back, you test this trend line. Maybe you wick underneath it, all right? You put in a hammer. That gives you something to go off of. Right now, you're just buying into all-time highs, all right? So I don't personally like just buying into the all-time highs. I like waiting for these, structural pullbacks. That is the next structural pullback that I can see with my pretty little eyes. They're blue eyes. There you go. MU. Over here, guys, is another one that does not look good for the bulls. All right. So you got bears stepping up yesterday on the increasing volume with the shooting star candlestick, followed by the gap up. All right, the gap up off the Tesla news. Okay, guys, SMCI, NVIDIA, and MU are going to be working together with Tesla. And of course, Tesla didn't get that gap up. That's okay. Mr. Tessie is a troll over there as well, but we're going to be talking about that one. All right, we're paying attention to that one because that thing's not looking too bad. But MU over here, bearish engulfing candlestick, you're coming down to test the 9. I suspect you're probably going to break there. All right, the levels to be paying attention to is 144.22. Underneath there, you're paying attention to 139.65. Under there, you're paying attention to 135.85. And ultimately, if I see it, I will take it down here at 130.54. All right, and from there, you probably have a move like that loading. But again, just like I pointed out on TSM, SMH, NVDA, I actually didn't point it out on NVDA, so there you go. You got a fat shooting star candlestick, probably does not lead to further upside. I know you got it over there, but notice that that's a green bar. This is a red guy. All right, bears are in full control right now. All right, you come back over here to MU, shooting star candlestick. We probably are going to see this pullback, so that is what I'm paying attention to. And this is why I say, guys, I would be cautious on the long side. Semis lead the NASDAQ. NASDAQ leads the S&P 500. S&P 500 leads everything else. Well, guess what? S&P 500 right now isn't looking so bad. QQQ isn't looking as bad as those semis, but it's still looking bad. SMH, it's now looking just bad. All right, so notice, that order there. SMH looking the worst. QQ not looking so bad. That's the NASDAQ. QQ not looking so bad so just yet. All right, and then you got SPY. It's still not looking terrible. You got SPY sitting with this candlestick. All right, so yeah, one by one, the dominoes might fall here, and that's just how I pay attention to things. All right, so that was that. Those are the chips. Let's move it on. All right, move it on to the big boys. Amazon, we're going to start it off with you because you have the setup. All right, Amazon is starting to move. You had this little 3-day range developing. Today you got the range breakout. All right, guys. We're going to take off this level because I don't think it's too relevant anymore. This is going to be resistance up here where sellers already stepped in. Okay, we're going to take that off because I don't think it's getting down there. All right, if it does get down there, that's cool. But, quite frankly, I think this thing's probably going to start running up without the market. All right, Amazon above 188.35. You look for just a straight up breakout. You want to come down here. You want to put on your retracement. We know where sellers like to step in before at the 0.786 fib. They got above it, which is why I was looking for the higher low over here. All right. So around 188.35, you expect sellers, guys. You expect them sellers to step in. Okay. But above there, things get dirty. They get real nasty. All right. You go straight up to 191.70. And from that point, guys, this thing's probably heading to the 195 cycle level and then the 200 level above that. Come over the weekly time frame. And guys, this thing's very clearly queuing up to do a little one of these. All right. Put a rocket ship emoji right there. Boom. All right. That was Amazon. Now we're going to come over to Apple. Okay. See this arrow? This ain't a new arrow. Okay. Guys, Apple looked like it was going to be pulling back. You had no reason to be chasing this move. You just didn't. It was also pretty far away from the daily 9 EMA, and that's at least what you want to be paying attention to on these big extended moves. Notice how you literally just had to wait. You pulled right back to it. All right. It was equivalent to buying the high over here. Yeah, maybe you missed out on all of that, but in the end, it gave it back and you came right to it. All right. And you had the break and retest going on over there. Well, the big break and retest now on this chart that I could see is a move all the way down here to 199.62. If you do pull back, that is your major buying opportunity. You've had a 1-year breakout over here. This is very likely where bulls step back into the equation. All right. But as of right now, you close out like this. It's not going to be the best look going into next week. We're going to be watching it. But Apple looks like it's pulling back to 199.62 down to 196.38. That's the breakout zone to be paying attention to. Microsoft. All right. With the break and retest today. Hammer candlestick doesn't necessarily look so bad. Bulls are still in control over here on Microsoft. And as you guys, if you guys were in yesterday's video, guess what? This move just started. You see the pullback over here to 433.60. That is a major buying opportunity to start playing this bad boy. All right, we're going to have to see how this thing closes out. You close out like this. I'm not going to be the most bearish heading into next week. But I'll say in the short term, on the daily time frame, bulls defended the crap out of this thing today. And that is not the worst sign for tomorrow. So that is that. All right, on the upside, this is going to be your resistance. We're going to use, we'll use this high, all right? That's where they have 450. That's going to be your resistance, all right? You're playing it long right here. You see that? You might as well take some profits off the table. There you go. All right, GOOG, you really want to break down, but it's also just being a piece of poop. I told you guys this is a sloppy guy. We're not going to spend too much time over here. If you do break down from this uptrend, you're watching 173.47. Meta, all right? Still looks like it wants to slide over here. I think it's going to spill. All right. I think it is. I'm going to be watching it underneath 496.01. You get a daily close under there. You got nothing until 482.50. That's what I'm paying attention to. On the upside, you look for 510 as your resistance. You're clearly in a range here. You've been in the same price for, same price range for 9 days now. And that's 2 weeks. There you go. Those are the big boys. Let's go over Henley's trade ideas. All right. Henley's. Yeah. Henry. Tesla. This thing looks like it's getting ready to go, guys. All right. I'm not going to touch the troll. I'm not going to do it. But I will give some time and attention to Mr. Tessie over here. All right. Tessa's been, I have mixed emotions about this gal. You've been good to me. You've also been pretty bad to me. All right. So I just prefer not touching the thing. All right. But I will cover it because I know a lot of people are watching this bad boy. And I think you're getting ready for a big break. I don't know the catalyst, but I think you're getting ready for a big break. You got declining volume on this pullback after getting this big green candlestick with volume. Buyers are in control of this chart. Not necessarily looking terrible. You're still ranging out. You're getting ready for that break, though. All right. It's going to break. IBM. This is the star of the show. This and Oxy are going to be the star of the show today. All right. We're going to start here with the weekly time frame, and I am going to just extend this. Guys, you have a big breakout right here. This thing is going to go for a ride all the way up to 180.88. All right. You see 174.97 get taken out. That's when you look for a straight shot up to 180.88. All right. Congrats if you did play this. I was pounding the table over here. This is one of the setups that we were watching going into the week. All right. As you could see, you're approaching TP number 3 up here at 174.97. I think this thing, after seeing how this candle printed today, off this heavy volume, you saw bulls completely just defend this as we had that market weakness. I think this thing is getting ready to go for a ride. All right, above 174.97, you look for a test of 180.88. Okay, and the short-term downtrend you were watching over here that I was paying attention to was the break. You got it right here. And we were also watching it time before it happened, because going into the week, this was one of the top setups. All right, Oxy. Also, the second top setup over here was Oxy. We had those two. Those were the star of my show. Okay, right here, guys. I think you literally just started what you got going on over here. Next week, we look for that pullback / consolidation. All right, it is very likely to happen. I think you get more upside over here. I'm just going to be, pretty transparent on that one. Regardless, you either get more upside right away. All right. And maybe it's a little different than this one, or we start consolidating and then we just, stair step our way up. This is one that we're going to be paying attention to, because I do think crude over here is getting it. Well, I don't think, I know it's getting a big breakout above 80.62. We're watching 84.46. I think this thing's about to be playing some catch up because it did not do anything while the market was rallying, which makes sense. All right. They don't run together. Right. They run a pose. They're opposing enemies over there. They're enemies. All right. That made no sense. It's okay. Oil looks like it's going to go for a ride. Oxy is going to partake in that ride, and you have that increasing volume on this second gap up. All right. If you had profits, guys, if you still have the profits and you see this thing around here, it's not the worst idea to take some profits off the table, because what if we do get that pullback just like that? And then boom, all right, maybe your 100% gains turn into like 50% gains, and then you're going to be sad. And then what if you took some off the table here, and then you could buy back in on the pullback we sold, and then you get to ride it back up, because this thing's going to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Let's get it. All right. That is what I have for you guys today. All right. I will be also watching Netflix on this pullback. I like how Netflix looks. I think it's extremely likely once it does pull back to this zone. All right, maybe retest down over here. The exact level I'm going to be paying attention to is over here at 656.49. If you test there, I'm looking for buyers to defend. And then boom, we go up to new all-time high. All right, guys, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like on the video so we can get this out to as many people as possible, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. All right. I love talking to you guys. I love seeing the comments each day. Let's get it popping. All right. I appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.